And one of Hawthorn's best, Jason Dunstall, has officially announced he'll continue on as skipper for a 14th season, albeit in a reduced capacity.
I think to be realistic now, I've got to lower my expectations in terms of what I expect to get out of the season. I think my values probably has to be distributed over a few different areas now, not just in terms of goals.
Shane Crawford, Nick Holland and Paul Salmon have been named his deputies, the responsibility already having an effect on pin-up boy Crawford.
No nudity for 98, that's right.
He's even going dressed to the showers now, so...
Got absolutely nothing to do with what we're talking about today.
What Hawthorn and Dunstall wanted to tell the media is that the star full forward's knee is feeling strong and he's signed on for 1998.
Obviously, I wouldn't have played on if I didn't have complete confidence in the fact that it was close to 100%.
Dunstall plans to play half a game against Port Adelaide in a trial match on Saturday night, but his target is being fit for the first game of the season so he can lead the team.
Now, if I can end up with 60 or 70 goals for the season, I think that'll be doing a hell of a good job.
Supporting Dunstall will be three vice-captains, Paul Salmon, Nick Holland and Shane Crawford. Missing from the Hawthorn list this year, though, is Brad Scott, the 21-year-old moving north to Brisbane to play with his twin brother.
We've always lived together, obviously, so that 4-year gap when we didn't live...
Welcome to the Footy Show! Yes, in recent times, and that is that Jason Dunstall, one of the greatest players of all time, has announced that he will continue his footballing career. He's had tendinitis in his knee, of course, that he had operated on last year, another reconstruction, his second in as many years. But the doctors have given him the all clear. He will go on, and today the Hawthorn Football Club, in their wisdom, and fair enough too, decided that Jason Dunstall will be the captain for the 1998 season. Our man on the spot at the media conference was John Sammy Newman.
Now, Jason, I'm from the Footy Show. I'd like to ask you, you've probably got the best legs in international sport. How long do you think they'll carry you through the great trials and tribulations of playing for Hawthorn?
I should have known it'd be a ripping question, Sam. Obviously, I wouldn't have played on if I didn't have complete confidence in the fact that it was close to 100%.
I know you'll think this is a frivolous question, but it's not. You've had a whole range of hairstyles over the years. Is this the hairstyle of a Tonight Show host?
It's not often I'm short of a word, Sam, but that's got absolutely nothing to do with what we're talking about today.
But you are going to front up the, we think will be enormously popular 7 show, a Tonight-style show. You're going to...
Looking forward...
I know, and we're looking forward to it too. You are going to host that up, and that is not a thing that it just takes 10 minutes of your week.
No, I will be involved in the new show, and exactly how much of my time that takes up is yet to be decided.
Have you got any date when you are going to start your...
No, I haven't, Sam.
Pardon? No, but...
No dates.
Well, what, are you just going to ease into the season, or what? You must have been there for a reason.
Are there any other questions?
Thank you very much for your attendance.
He was very good. He was very good, and that is definitely a hairstyle that is not for football. That has been obviously a Johnny Carson come Dave Letterman type style, and he's going to... They've said that that's the way you wear your hair when you conduct Tonight shows, and I wonder if Dave Letterman knows that this bloke is going to take over his mantle in Australia and play league football and captain a club. But that'll be a monument. He's on 42 different shows at the minute. How will he fit the football in?
But good luck to him, because...
First term. But in his last game, Jared Neesham didn't want to make it a Dunstall charity match, the Dockers hitting back hard. Aaron Lord also forgot to read the script, upstaging the skipper with 4 first-half goals. Premier Kennett watched as Trent Carroll wore Dunstall like a glove, Lord picking up the crumbs for number 5. It got ugly for the Dockers in the final quarter, not that Neesham cares anymore, the Hawks booting 11 goals to 1.
From 45 and kicks a goal!
Including JD's second, his 1254th and last in the brown and gold.
And he did it in fine style.
At Waverley Park, 40,000 fans saw Jason Dunstall sent off in style, Hawthorn thrashing the Dockers by 89 points. But it was Aaron Lord who dominated for the Hawks, kicking 6 goals. Dunstall booted 2. Here's Leith Mulligan.
The Hawthorn faithful turned out in force to salute Jason Dunstall for all the glory he's brought to the club.
The great Jason Dunstall.
So it was fitting he kicked the opening goal.
Dunstall, he's kicked the goal!
Hunter may have produced something a little more spectacular, but it wasn't the Dockers' day out. it was Hawthorn's. Through Leckers, the Hawks gained a 19-point lead by the break.
Snap, this is close.
Crawford allowed Dunstall to shine,
Here's Dunstall.
but it was Lord kicking goals. His third and fourth kept the Hawks in front by 3 goals.
Oh, he's kicked his fourth.
Hawthorn could have buried Fremantle in the third term, but didn't. The Dockers tackling not just Hawthorn with ferocity, but themselves.
Thought he was a rodeo rider.
When the Hawks followed orders and kicked to Dunstall, he had his second of the day, the last of his career. His teammates did the rest, 11 goals to 1. It was party time for the brown and gold. Neesham, in his last game as Dockers coach, had little reason but managed to smile. This, the last flight of Hawk number 19, Dunstall toasting a career spent at the top.
So 10-point win there to the Cats now at Waverley as the banner says it all. Farewell and a salute to Jason Dunstall. And how appropriate that he should kick the first goal.
Oh, what a dream start. Jason Dunstall in his final game has used that tremendous strength, Kevin, to kick a goal. Head back towards
Lord was the star. He kicked 6 goals.
Dangerous player. He's in good touch. Takes him on. Runs to 50. Closes to 45. Aaron Lord kicks a goal. Unloads. Dunstall.
But it was certainly Dunstall's day.
Made the free kick as well. Also kicked 14 against Footscray in 1996. Going for his second goal today. The Raw tells the story.
But he injured 5 of his teammates being carried off the ground. An emotional moment and having off a great...
OK, Hawthorn and Fremantle, a very emotional day, and Jason Dunstall has stamped his particular way of playing football on this game forever. And let's welcome Nick Holland, who was part of the day yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. In saluting one of the game's greatest legends ever to pull on a boot from the Hawthorn Football Club, let's not take away, which has been a very, very enlightening second half of the year, Nick, and something over the summer that you can look forward to next year.
Yeah, definitely Rex 5 on the trot. It's probably it's definitely what we wanted. We only had 3 wins up to then. We were looking at the wooden spoon, but now we've probably moved up to 11th place, and it's looking good with the younger blokes for next year.
Where do you think the improvements come from, though?
Our backline's definitely improved with Jonathan Robran and John Barker sort of standing up and holding a key position back there. The other thing is Trent Crowe's come along, Johnny Hayes sort of come along as well. So there's more improvement to come from
Johnny
those guys.
Hassel's come into some good form too in the last few weeks.
Actually, I failed to mention that. Yeah, Johnny Hassel, he's been fantastic. He was told probably the middle of the season that he'd never play another game for Hawthorn again.
Now Yabby spoke to the players before the game in typical Hawthorn style. Did he soul into you? Did he raise the voice?
He's a great orator, as you know, Fly. So he actually pumped us all up, and we went out there. There probably wasn't a dry eye as we were moving out to the Oval, and that first quarter was pretty draining. Actually, I couldn't get above a trot, and most of the players sort of found it hard to get into the game because we were so emotional for Jason.
And 3 players that have actually stood up in the midfield, Shane Crawford, Craig Treleaven and also Aaron Lord. They've been exceptional over the last 6 or 8 weeks.
Yeah, Shane's been our best player all year, Mick. Craig Treleaven, he's amazing how much he finds the ball. We were talking earlier, he said how he's not quick, but he's just got great skills and knows where to go. And Aaron Lord, he's kicked 6 goals on 2 occasions this year, and he's up there. I think he's the 3rd highest goal scorer for Hawthorn this year.
You worked the forward line pretty well. Yourself at centre forward took about 9 marks, but also Mark Graham had a stint, kicked a couple of goals, and was pretty excited about kicking those goals as well. So
definitely went up to Jason and said, I want to kick 2 goals today, so to double his score.
Are you kicking the ball longer? I saw you about 2 weeks ago, and you seem to be kicking the ball longer instead of chipping it around the ground. I think you've been playing a lot more direct over the last 4 or 5 weeks. I think that's really helped.
Yeah, Couchy, we've actually made a pretty concerted effort to make sure we're long and direct towards the goal, because we found we were getting going too far wide, and it wasn't in our team plan. And if it gets down to the forwards, we've got marking options down there in myself and Brendan Crummell, and Dixon and Lord can crumb the pack as well. So that's what we've done. We've been long and direct.
OK, for McDonald's, the Channel 7 Player of the Year, there they are, Aaron Lord Craig Callaghan, is it?
And Harry
Craig,
Callahan.
Harry Callahan and Cindy Crawford there for Hawthorn there by the physiotherapist. And here's Bob with the white sausage.
No, not yet, not yet. This is the Sharon Stadium bag. These are very special. Look, the AFL and this one, triple play. This is a baseball one.
Get to the sausage.
And here we go. You travelling overseas at the end of the year?
Okay, thanks very much. We're coming back with the Prime Minister.
New York,
and
there we go.
Well, we say God bless the Governor-General. Take a break. Get off, Bob, you idiot.
As a player. Oh, look, I think Jason handled it pretty professionally, actually. He's got a commitment to you know, his chance
kicking
or whatever, so, you know.
He wanted to keep it quiet, that's why he announced it then. Well, he didn't want a lot of people to know so early.
5 in a row. Sam, that's rude. Jeez. Aaron, five in a row for Hawthorn now. It's a wonderful finish to the season. What were the reasons for the belief that the youngsters have developed now?
I think so, Kicker. I mean, look, when you consider where we've come from over the last 8 weeks and how we finished off last year, it was imperative that we finished off the year well this year.
Aaron,
and whilst, you know, early in the year we weren't winning games, we were thereabouts, you know, 3 or 4 times.
You played a lot at Waverley. There surely was more than 40,000 there. There was 55, wasn't it?
Oh, it sounded like about 80,000 there, Sam. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but Graham Samuel's only got 35 million on Waverley as we speak.
AFL the figures. Now let the truth get in the fact of a really good story, Dermot. Let's give it a very succinct summary.
Well, Aaron has already said Alan Jones came down before the game and he spoke to the boys. He started to tell them a little bit about the fabric behind the man that has been an integral part of the fabric of the club. And they went out in the first quarter and almost, not overawed, but so intent on trying so hard, they didn't actually play good footy, but they hung in there and they were clearly always the better side. This is the first goal of the day and a great way for Jason Dunstall to start his final game. But it was a bit of a scrappy affair. Nick Holland played pretty well. He took 6 contested marks at centre-half forward. And the Hawthorn team, Sam, much to your delight, did go relatively long to Nick Holland around centre-half forward because he can catch the thing in the contest situation. Here's Lordy here. Watch him double back inside and just back himself in. And he had the blinkers on there too, Lordy, didn't you? And you were always going to have a shot. But he played superbly and really was a thorn in the side.
Is he up for contract, Aaron? He's played very, very well in the last 5 or 6 games, Dermot.
He's interrupted you, Dermot.
Couldn't tell you where his contract's lying, mate. But no, he did have a very good game. And in the final quarter, Hawthorn just nailed away and just chewed away at them. In the final quarter, the Dockers had 45 possessions to Hawthorn's 97.
They just tossed it in, Dermot, did they?
They pretty well did, Kev. It was the end of the road for the Dockers, and they knew that they weren't going to be hauled over the coals by their coach because they haven't seen him yet.
Shocking way to farewell a good coach in Jared Newsham.
Yeah, it wasn't a good way, but the Hawks were good, Max.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much, Sam. Look, we promise we will be coming back, but as I said earlier, we now must go to a very special election report.